As we can see on the calendar here in MLB 22, tomorrow we have a pretty big content day. It looks like we're going to get a Jackie Robinson Day player program as well as Topps Now moments arriving for the first time this year, and then a Legend Lightning player reveal. So in the comment section, I just want to see thoughts, predictions on, first of all, maybe Jackie Robinson Day program. What overall is the Jackie Robinson going to be? Is there going to be any other cards thrown in there? Maybe some packs? What are y'all expecting and or hoping, predicting from that Jackie Robinson Day new player program? Topps Now. Who do you think is going to get the first set of Topps Now cards? I would imagine we're going to see, maybe 1, 2, 3 pitchers and then 2 or 3 position players as well. Jose Ramirez, I think, has had home runs a couple times this week, one from the left side, one from the right side. So I feel like that could be a really good card. Nolan Arenado has had some good games. He had 3 doubles in one. I'm kind of biased towards the Cardinals because that's what I've watched the most, but Brandon Marsh had a, I think, big 3-run solo home run for the Angels, and we've just been seeing a lot of good performances. The guy in the Guardians, I want to say his name is Steven Kwan. I could be wrong on that, so I'm sorry if that is wrong, but there's this guy on the Guardians that is just absolutely tearing the cover off the baseball, getting so many hits, so he could maybe get a Topps Now. But one thing to keep in mind is if somebody's playing really well and they don't get a Topps Now card this week when you think maybe they deserved it, there's probably at least a decent chance that they might end up getting a Player of the Month card. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then what I really want to see in the comments section, what I'm hoping to see the most predictions and or thoughts for, is the Legend Lightning player reveal. That's going to be the main focus of this video, is kind of go over people who maybe it could be. But if you guys don't know, every single month they do Player of the Month program. So the first one will release the first week of May, and it will be the April Player of the Month program. The cards that had, the players that had the best months for the month of April then get cards within MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty, and the best card, the final card in that Player of the Month program, is a Lightning card. It's the best one. So what that seems to me is we're going to be getting a Legend Lightning card, presumably, I would assume, for the month of April, just because that's going to be the first Player of the Month program. But maybe it's not going to be April. I have a feeling it should be for the month of April, but again, I could be wrong. Nobody really knows for sure. And it looks like on Friday we might be getting a really good Lightning Legend card, maybe to obtain even starting on that Friday. So today's video, the main focus is predictions for who that Legend Lightning player might just be. Now, I don't know if he's just not in the game this year, like some other legends maybe weren't returning for the year, or maybe he just doesn't have any cards yet, or I'm just not finding him. But the first player that I found is going to be Walter Johnson. And in April of 1912, for the Washington Senators, Walter Johnson threw 3 shutouts in 1 month and did not allow an earned run in 44 innings. And then the following April, the next year, he only allowed 1 run in 37 innings. So if it's going to be a pitcher, I feel like this would be a great time for Walter Johnson to get a pretty nice diamond card right off the rip. The next guy we have is Hank Aaron. In 1959, he had a .508 average with, I think, 6 home runs in over 60 at-bats. I think maybe it was 61 at-bats, and he hit .508. So that could be a nasty Hank Aaron card. Plus, like I said, I'm pretty sure 6 home runs. That's a really good month of April in 1959. And I would love me a Hank Aaron Lightning card this early on in the year. Next up, we go to the Reds and we have Tony Perez. In 1970, Perez had the best season of his Hall of Fame career, which started with an amazing month of April. He became the first player to hit above 400 for his average with at least 10 home runs and 20 RBIs in the month of April. He finished with a .455 average, 10 home runs, and 26 RBIs all in the month of April. So kind of crazy. And I feel like Tony Perez could easily get that Lightning card. And again, I could be completely wrong. They might not even do a month of April. They might not even release a card on Friday. It could just be a reveal for that final program. But I really hope we do see a Lightning card that is obtainable on Friday. And if it's Tony Perez, I don't think I could complain about having a Tony Perez card this early on. That's good, man. I feel like that would just be a really good card based on that month. The next one scares me just because of how many times I had to face the silver version of BR. Vita Blue from the Athletics. There's no card for him just yet. My bad, I didn't mean to switch that. There's no card for him just yet. but I would assume he's back in the game this year. And in April of 1971, Vita Blue was 6-1 with a 1.2 ERA, .89 WHIP in 52 2/3 innings with 6 complete games in the month. So I feel like that could be a really good Vita Blue starting pitcher card. And if we were to get that, I would probably be using him in ranked seasons right away. I feel like people have a ton of trouble hitting Vita Blue. Next up as a possibility is going to be Willie Starger from 1971 for the Pirates. Actually, the same year as that Vita Blue one we were just talking about. And in April of 1971, Willie Starger, I was about to say Vita Blue, imagine. Willie Starger started that month of April and had a .347 average with 11 home runs, 27 RBIs. So that would have a lot of power. I would assume with that .347 average for the month, a lot of contact, a nice lefty bat. I don't think I would be minding a lefty player of the month, Lightning, Willie Starger. That could be a really good card too. Now, probably the one that the pitcher who sucks in me, who had success with him last year, wants to see is Fernando Valenzuela. 1981, apparently there was something going on called Fernando Mania, and it was on full display in the month of April in 1981. He was only 20 years old at the time, and he allowed 1 run in 45 innings as a starter in the month of April for the Dodgers. 1 run in 45 innings. That would just be a nasty, nasty Fernando Valenzuela. And I feel like I would love seeing a Lightning Valenzuela super early on, man. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun to use, but not a lot of fun to face. If I had to choose one guy for that Legend Lightning card to be, though, it would probably be Ken Griffey Jr. 1997. In April, he hit 13 home runs in that month, which was a record at the time, later to be broken by my favorite player of all time, if I'm not mistaken, at least, Albert Pujols. I think he hit 14 in maybe 2006, but I could be wrong. And as well as those 13 homers, though, in the month of April, Ken Griffey Jr. had a .340 average with 30 RBIs. I feel like that would just be an insane card. .340 average, a record 13 homers in the month. That would be such a good, at least hitting, Ken Griffey Jr. card early on in the year. But based on his fielding and his speed and those hitting stats from that season, I feel like it would be too hard not to give him a 99 overall. And I just have a feeling that the Lightning card's probably going to be like a 91, 92, 93. I don't think it's going to be a 99 just yet. Now, there's been a lot of good months in the month of April in baseball history, in MLB history, so I'm not going to go over all of them by any means. We're kind of getting towards the end a little bit, but we got Larry Walker in 1997. I think that's the same year as Griffey. He had a .456 average in the month of April with 11 home runs and 29 RBIs. So that could be a really good card too. I feel like there's so many options. I would love to see that. Staying on the Rockies in 1998, the next year, Dante Bichette doesn't have a card yet, I don't think, at least that I could see. But in April of 1998, he had a .398 average, 47 hits, 47 in the month of April. Kind of crazy. And I feel like that could be a solid card. Dante Bichette doesn't have one yet. That might be a good first card for him. And then the final one that I'm going to go over this video is a guy we don't have a card yet for. I would assume he's returning this year. That's going to be Luis Gonzalez for the Diamondbacks. And in 2001, he tied Ken Griffey Jr. for the April home run record with 13 home runs. He had 57 for the season, but 13 home runs in the month of April. That could probably be a pretty solid first card for Luis Gonzalez if he's in fact back in the game this year. And just with all that being said, I feel like there's a ton of different options. I feel like there's so many legends that you could do, and I'm sure there's plenty of good months of April that I missed down on, and I'm really curious what they end up going with. If y'all have any predictions, thoughts, or ideas, definitely leave them down in that comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. I always like talking about things that are coming to the game and trying to get some ideas. And once this content does come out and does get revealed tomorrow, mixed up my sentences a little bit there, we'll be having a video going over everything. I think they got to push the button stream as well, so I'll stay tuned for that. But I'll see you next time. Like, comment, subscribe, social medias, all that good stuff. Peace out.